Let us turn our attention now to a little south of Terre Haute. We're going to go to Evansville, Indiana, and talk about the Purple Aces of Evansville. Speaking of head coaches, not year 2, but year 5 for Robin Scher, who was 7-12. The Aces went a season ago, 3-17 overall in the Valley. Good for and knocked out in the opening round in Evansville at the Ford Center in the opening round of the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. This is in doing the research on this roster, and we got a chance to talk to Robin. I don't know, it's probably been 6-8 weeks ago now. I was reminded in doing the digging and the research for this segment. I don't know. I dare you to find me 5 rosters in America that are younger than this one, and you are going to have fingers left over trying to fill out that 5, I believe. 5 freshmen on this roster, 6 sophomores, 1 redshirt sophomore, and 1 junior. And the junior comes out of the junior college ranks. The redshirt sophomore, Georgia Cox, who played at Eastern Illinois for 1 season. She has redshirted for a year, so she has 1 season of Division I college basketball experience. That is your upper class. 1 season of Division I college basketball experience. It is young, young, young. The good news is that youth, there are certainly some building blocks to be the foundational pieces for this program as they try to improve on a 7-win campaign from a season ago. 9 kids got into the portal at the end of the year. 6 of them 7 of them found homes. 2 of them were out of eligibility. But the most significant departure, without question, is Maggie Hartwig, who was she was the stat stuffer for Evansville a season ago. 16.5 points a game, 9.2 rebounds. She ends up transferring out to South Dakota State, the number 1 with a bullet mid-major program in the country. We'll see what kind of impact she can have going from Evansville to South Dakota State. Julia Palomo, who averaged about 8 a game as well, she hopped into the portal. She transferred out to Albany. But Hartwig was, that was a young lady that Coach Scher leaned on a bunch last year. And so now it is, who can we lean on? Well, they have returners coming back and kids that scored a bunch for them last year. Most significantly, sophomore guard Cameron Runner. She averaged 15.5, 5 rebounds as a 5'8" guard last year for Evansville. Joined by Kylie Norcus, who averaged 10 a game, but only played 4 games last season before she had a season-ending injury in November. So she had started early in the year, and losing a piece like that, I don't know how many games she made a difference in, but I bet they win more than 7 if Kylie Norcus is able to be around for the entire season. And then you also have Logan Lubers-Palmer, who averaged 6.5 points a game, was an all-freshman of the week caliber player last season. So that's sophomore. Still young kids, but kids that have been in the program, have a year under their belt with Coach Scher, and they are going to be leaned on heavily this year with just such a vast majority of underclassmen on this roster. When you look at the additions, it's a lot of them are freshmen, and a lot of this is also just, we're going to guess, I think, a little bit, because so much is going to be leaned on from the kids that are back and those sophomores that we mentioned. But the ones that have me intrigued are Georgia Cox, who we mentioned, who redshirted 2 years ago, comes from Australia. She is 6'4". She played at Eastern Illinois 1 season, obviously a developmental big, where she redshirted her freshman year. Last season, played about 5 minutes a game, averaged about 2.5 points a contest. But from the development standpoint, if that development is able to continue on a northward trajectory, you can't teach 6'4", and you have to have size in this league to be able to compete and not just get run over. So how much Georgia is going to be able to contribute this year, I think, will be very impactful to how much winning Evansville can do. And then the Georgia to Georgia connection, Georgia Ferguson, who comes from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, who is 6'3". And again, freshman, it's just size, and we can't teach the size. So I'm going to bank on the pedigrees of 6'3" and 6'4", and just what in their development process, what can they give this year to Coach Share, and in terms of being able to try to impact winning. This schedule this year is suboptimal, is probably the best way to put it. Just as much as anything from a standpoint of 11 non-conference games, 8 road games. Your first 4 are on the road. Don't get a home game till November 20th, when they will host IU Indy. They will host Northern Illinois. They will host Austin Peay. That is the home schedule before they get into conference play. On the road, they have some money games on there. They're going to Iowa. They're going to Purdue. They're going to play St. Louis, who Bradley, again, just beat earlier this week in that exhibition game in overtime. Going to SEMO, Eastern Kentucky, Wright State, Edwardsville, Dayton. There are some games in there they can get, but that is a lot of travel. It is a lot of hotel rooms. And, when things are kind of going sideways a little bit, if they go sideways, and look, they're going to go sideways at some point this year with just such a young team trying to find itself, that you hope there are enough wins in November, kind of get that confidence going, like, okay, we're building something here. We got things rolling a little bit, that when they get into those, man, we've been on the road for weeks right now, that it doesn't become a drain, and that there can be some energy from, hey, we're together and we're fighting together on the road and such. So it's just, sometimes it's just the way the schedule falls, and home contracts and all of that. And there's 1,000 things that go into scheduling, but I'm sure that Coach Share would love to have more than 3 home games, but that's what they've got. And they will start with SEMO, and you're just trying to just hang on and kind of survive till you get that first home game, 4 in a row on the road to start before they get rolling on November 20th at home against IU Indy. But another one of those teams, kind of in that group from last year, where you had Evansville, Southern Illinois, Indiana State. They were in that 10, 11, 12 range. And now obviously Missouri State out, so 9, 10, 11. Which one of those teams can make a leap? We saw it last year with Bradley, that they made a significant jump. Still got up, I think, to 8th in the end, but you saw them separate from the bottom grouping. Which one of these 3 this year can do it? And I think with what's coming back, Indiana State is they are, as we talked with John Sherman, they are a clean slate. We don't know what they're going to be able to do this year. Southern Illinois lost their best player in Gift Uchenna from a season ago, but they've got a bunch of kids back that were hurt last year. How will they be able to get back into the swing of things this year and be able to help Kelly Bond White? But then you have Evansville, where it's like they have kids that played and scored and were big contributors, and now they're going to just need a little more. If you want to call it a knock, they're just sophomores. And so that is the maturity and the growth and the elevation of those, and the development of those kids will really be, I think, the main key to how much of a leap Evansville is able to make this season.